So talking about goals and implementation of goals, IEP goals should be written so that students learn the skills needed that will enable them to achieve the standards. And again, if you don't have Common Core standards, you still have learning standards. So thinking about what students are expected to learn. We could be writing standards referenced goals where we're writing goals using our terminology, but referencing which goals would be tied, or which standards would be tied to that. Or a standards-based intervention goal where you're actually using the standards terminology to write up goals. One colleague of mine, actually, they write integrated goals where the classroom teachers and the related service providers write goals together to cover the academic needs, communication needs, maybe life skills, or even mobility needs of the student, and then they combine collected data for progress monitoring. Perry Flynn provides a really nice guide for writing speech language goals related to the standards, and it's downloadable here. I show you the link, and he divides it up by grade level. It's based on the English Language Arts standards, and it covers the following areas: phonological, semantic, vocabulary concepts, expressive language, receptive language, and pragmatic language. So a really nice tool for you if you want to think about how you can write goals that relate to standards. But I'll use this as a whole class or a small group activity, and this is just one example. I give each of the students 7 index cards that have the numbers 1 through 7. And so I'll present an analogy. So for example, going back to here, I might say, big is to large as, and then I'll give them the 2 words. I'll fill in the blank. And then they're having to identify. So of course, for big is to large, I would give them other words that are synonyms, and then they're having to identify for me. Is this a synonym analogy? Is it an antonym? Is it a member category, item characteristic, item location, item function, or part whole? And so they go through and determine. And then they all, what I have them do is they'll all have the index cards kind of against their chest. And then I'll just have them flip over the number that corresponds to what I have just shown them. So then very quickly, I'm able to see, hopefully with the biggest to large example that I gave them, they will be flipping the 1. And what's nice about that is I can very quickly see who doesn't get it. So they're all flipping over their cards at the same time. I might say, okay, 1, 2, 3, flip. They flip it, and then I know who's not catching on. So then I might be able to re-explain. I might have a student explain, so why did you pick 1? And then that might help that student who didn't pick 1 understand that relationship. And so we kind of go through this process. I might present different analogy types, and then they're having to show me the number that corresponds. So if I see that a particular student is consistently showing me the wrong number, then I know, okay, that student needs some additional instruction. And then I would make a note of that and then be able to address it more specifically with that student to help them grasp the concepts that I'm teaching.